Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another Legacy video, playing Doomsday. Um, Today it is May the 3rd, and by the time you watch this, it will probably be about a week will have passed, and I don't feel confident that Loris won't have been like emergency banned by then, because it is really wreaking quite a lot of havoc. I'm on Loris Doomsday, as I was in my last video, and it's basically the same list. I've changed like a couple, I've added a few Graveyard Hate pieces. I think, I can't remember exactly my list before, it might be the exact same one. Um, I'm just not really feeling like changing anything because I'm on like a real hot streak here. These are my sort of last 15 matches, so only one loss, and yeah, expecting that not to keep going, of course, but it'll be fun to see how long we can go, and we'll see that today. The deck is just really good. It feels really good. Probably doesn't feel as good as this current win rate, which is 76%, sort of portrays, because this is only 35 or actually 34 matches, and you shouldn't really draw too many conclusions. And I have gotten lucky. I have had tight games and stuff, but all in all, it feels just really good. And I feel completely certain that Luris will be gone. Maybe not, if not tomorrow, um, then, in a few weeks probably, because if you look at this is the metagame breakdown right now for Legacy, and you see Luris Delver and Sultai Delver combine to, to like 28% of the meta, and I think I remember when Top Miracles was the best deck. I think that had like 12 or 14%. I could be misremembering, but that's sort of what I seem to be recalling. And this is just absurd. I got some more Luris decks down here. So yeah, you see the Legacy Challenge results here. It's like Luris. Guessing Sun Surf and Bird 19 had Luris in his ant deck, but I'm not sure about more Luris. So in a way, it feels like rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic right now, even just playing Legacy, because the format will be shook up once Luris is gone. But I'm having a lot of fun, and I'll just keep grinding out, seeing how we go until things change. Again, I can't take credit for this list. This list was concocted by Monkeys Can't Cry. I don't know their real name, but a very accomplished Doomsday player. I've just made a couple of very small adjustments, and yeah, it's working out great for me. So having said all that, let's jump into a league. Legacy League. Let's just remember to change decks to this one. And there we go. So what's been like working out really well for me has been just the feeling like it's hard, and at first at least, and probably still, it's kind of hard to know when to pivot one way or the other. But this deck, this version of the deck, we're up to 3 petals here, and we can go really fast, but then we can also not go so fast and sort of play a bit of a longer game. These 3 cards here, the 2 Strix and the Decay, are cards that I normally would not be too thrilled on having in the main deck, but it just feels like there is space here for that. And yeah, I'm still, you know, it's I keep shifting my opinion on the Decay. Like having 1 Decay, initially I mainly saw it as a way to save a sideboard slot, because I think you really want 3 Decays in your 75. Um, but the fact that you can uncounterably like get rid of something like yeah, I guess Chalice, but just like, or even just like a Delver to slow their game down is kind of nice. But yeah, I'm not sure though. But yeah, like I said, right now I'm just on such a hot streak that I don't really want to change anything. Alright, so we have lost the die roll, and let's choose to declare Lures as our companion. This is a bit of a funny hand. So we can go turn 1 Doomsday, or we could go turn 1 Luris. It's a little bit iffy that our land is wastable here, and depending on what we're up against, this could be very sort of vulnerable, but I think I'm going to keep. Yeah, I don't like mulliganing. And they don't show a companion, so LED makes me think it's Dredge, seeing as they don't have companion. Oh, it's Echo of Eons. So I guess it's Belcher. Well, we can't really do anything about that, so let's hope we draw Force. We do. So they just basically mulliganed us into a Force of Will hand and 2 discard spells. I mean, it doesn't seem that amazing when you're not at least leaving something behind as the Belcher player. Like, if they could have if they had like a Chrome Mox in play or an LED, yeah, that just seems a bit better. But yeah, whatever. I saw Gamble. That's interesting. I don't think I've seen that, but I guess it makes sense with Edge. Sorry, Echo. Yeah, let's just let this resolve. I feel like it's unlikely that they're going to be like discarding us. It was just all red cards. Well, okay. I like bobbling them here, just because, I mean, there's a world where we're supposed to save Bobble for Predict, but I don't think card advantage will be an issue here, and I like bobbling because it makes us able to Thoughtseize with more information. So let's see, they are going to draw a Lotus Petal. So I want to Thoughtseize them here. Okay, so we could Petal and then Therapy their Chrome Mox. Let's just see what can they do here. They get Petal, so they can go 1 mana Petal, 2 mana Spirit Guide, and then Chrome Mox Imprinting, Empty the Warrens, and then go Seething Song, Charbelcher, and then win. So we definitely need to take stuff here. A sort of safe-ish bet would be to take the Charbelcher, but we can Force of Will that, I guess. Force of Will doesn't stop Empty the Warrens. So how about we take Empty the Warrens and Chrome Mox so they can go Petal 1, Spirit Guide 2, and then they're not really going anywhere. Or maybe I'm supposed to take their initial mana sources. They have a bunch of action cards and a bunch of mana cards, so it's sort of hard to take something here that is not just going to that they aren't able to reliably redraw. I think I'm taking the empty here, and then I think I'm going to Therapy the Chrome Mox. Okay, let's pass. We know they're drawing Lotus Petal. So I think we just go for Doomsday here and pass the turn with Force Up. And we will draw an Underground Sea. We will predict Thassa's Oracle. We will draw Unearth and Lotus, or sorry, Edge of Autumn, I guess. And then edge into Lotus Petal. So you can put Lotus Petal on the bottom, edge, Unearth, Thassa, and Underground Sea. And we just need to not die on this turn, which I feel confident that we won't. So if they draw another 1-mana spell, they can go for like Petal, Spirit Guide, Seething Song, and then Charbelcher. There's the Petal. So I guess they drew something, maybe like another Spirit Guide or like a Desperate Ritual. Okay, Land Grant, sure. So whatever, we win now because they can play around the Force of Will. So let's just let them play out everything. Sure. We just need to not pitch predict. I had an opponent Echo of Eons me after Doomsday, and they thought they had killed me, that I would like draw out of my draw 7 cards and only have 5-card library. But they forgot that I had to shuffle in my hand and library as well. Oh, sorry, hand and graveyard. All right, so Thassa and cycle, draw the Petal, Unearth. Okay, so I guess we don't have like a ton of stuff to bring in, if even anything. So they will certainly or very likely have Tendrils of Agony in their sideboard to Burning Wish for. So suppose there's a world where we want Veil of Summer. I can see Seal of Primordium just because it's not sort of impossible for them to go like Charbelcher go and then have to find the 3 mana. Decay doesn't seem that nice. The only thing we're decaying is probably like, I guess either Sanded Swarm, or that would probably be the best decay target. But if not Sanded Swarm, then like a random LED they play out, but not exactly, I think, where we want to be at. Surgical Extraction, I guess, could do something, but it's a little bit cutesy, and they don't. I guess with with Echo of Eons, they do use the graveyard, so actually maybe a couple of Surgicals could be fine. Probably 3 Veil of Summer is too many, and Baleful Strix doesn't seem that good. Do we want the 1 decay just to randomly have an answer to Xanded Swarm? My guess is no. Guess we could cut a Bauble. So, like I said in my previous video, this list runs very low on blue cards, so we removed 2 Baleful Strix, and I think we're down to like 17 or 18 blue cards, so 4. And 6 with a 2 predicts. I'm not really counting the Oracle. And then 10, 14, 18. Because I'm thinking maybe I could see myself cutting 1 predict. But then we're at 17 blue cards, which is, I think, a bit low. A bit on the low side. So maybe I don't hate cutting a Petal. Having said that, cutting the Petal, you do kind of, it's not a bad thing to be fast against them. Yeah, let's reveal Luris. Uh, I mean, right, you don't really get away from this, right? So let's keep that. We need a land to like Doomsday with a pretty decent past the turn pile. So they mulligan. Belcher is a deck that needs to mulligan quite a bit. So I would kind of not like to see the turn one Xander Swarm here, but let's see. Okay. It's funny. Why would you play out the pedal? Do we just say go here? I think we do. Maybe I was supposed to play out my pedal in case they get off an Echo of Eons. Why would you play out the pedal? Unless you're playing some sort of interaction. Okay, so that is interesting. So I think we have to force this and hope that they either just, in quotation mark, make goblins, or that they that they make a play that just, I guess, doesn't kill us, is what I'm fishing for here. I don't think we can let this resolve. It doesn't come to the same because there's a world where they make their plan is to make Echo of Eons, in which case this is absolutely the correct play. So, Exile Spirit Guide. Sure. So if their last two cards in hand are what? It can't be Charbelcher and LED. Burning Wish. So if their last card in hand is LED, they go get Echo of Eons, I guess. Yep. Sure. I mean, I guess I would have preferred to have my pedal in play, of course. But other than that, yeah, it is what it is. Let's hope to draw Force of Will. We don't, sadly. They have a mana floating, so they're much better off this time. So we are sitting ducks here. I would like to know what like the percentages increase by for Belcher if they get to start with 1 red mana floating. Yeah. So what is this? Hopefully, we can only really hope for like either another Echo of Eons or a giant slew of goblins, which will likely kill us, but we'll see. Like if we draw Dark Ritual, if we get a turn and we draw Dark Ritual, then or even just Brainstorm, no, it has to be Dark Ritual or Edge of Autumn, then we will win. But yeah, things are not looking good right now. So I guess maybe they had like um, double Veil of Summer on that first turn where they played out the. Yeah, okay. So their Taiga's in play, so I'm gonna let them activate and just see if they randomly happen to have like an extra land in their deck. They wouldn't. It wouldn't make any sense. Yep. Okay. We are down. Ah, I should have looked. That was dumb. Can I still look? Yeah, okay. Let's just see what their deck looks like. How many Veil of Summer is in their deck? So we have 3 cards exiled. None of those are Veil of Summer. So 1 Veil, 2 Veil, 3 Veil, 4 Veil. Okay, so that is their sideboard tech, which is pretty good. You know, you gotta say. It's less good against discard because they are basically always not getting the card advantage as they have like one like recurring mana producer. I guess they could go down a card on Chromox, but then it only is sort of one veil gets you to parity. So okay, yeah, this looks. How many MT? 1, 2, 3, and then 1 the sideboard. Cool. All right. So does this change anything? I don't think we want any decay then. And I boarded out my decay, so that's fine. So I don't really see a lot of stuff we could want here. Maybe we want to be fast again with the Lotus Petal. And so what do we take out then? Honestly, maybe just this veil. Yeah, maybe we just don't want any veil, and a bauble would be better. Although bauble isn't very impressive here. Okay, I would very much like to be on the play. I'll reveal Luris. This doesn't feel like a Luris matchup. Having said that, this hand goes turn 1 Luris. Or it can go turn 2 Luris without burning the Dark Grit. So maybe that's just better. I guess we might as well get the Luris down. Or what? So if we wait for turn 2, we'll like use our Petal instead of the Dark Grit. But maybe keeping the Dark Ritual is just better because we have Brainstorm and Dark Ritual, which means we can win on the same turn we Doomsday. And I didn't see anything out of their main deck post board that makes me think they can interact with this. Maybe I wasn't studying it closely. I didn't see anything like Surgical Extraction or Mindbreak Trap. Maybe there was Pyroblast, but I didn't see it. I don't think there was. So maybe I'm supposed to scry myself here, actually, instead of bobbling them. I think that's just better. Come on, show me Doomsday. What, bobble, real bobble? Don't think we want that. I should have played out the Petal again. It was dumb. So I'm going to fetch away here because I would rather draw something other than another bobble because it's too slow. So I'll probably draw land, but okay, yeah, predict this is okay. So if I don't draw anything exciting, actually, hang on. So we will have, with Petal, we will have access to 4 to 3 mana next turn. So if we were to draw Doomsday, we could Dark Ritual and then both Doomsday and Predict. That means we wouldn't need the Brainstorm, so we could Brainstorm on this turn. Looks like they are going forward here. Yikes. So what was revealed? Okay. So Rite of Flame and Tinderwall. So this either gets them, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It either gets them 10 goblins or it gets them Charbelcher, and then they need 1 mana. So if I want to stop the goblins, I have to do it now. But 10 goblins, I feel like Luris beats that, right? Maybe not. So they get 10 goblins, they attack us down, we take 9 but gain 3, so we take 6, we drop to 13, then they attack with 9, we take... Okay, they're going for it, so their hand is Charbelcher. Yeah, that's fine. I really feel like Luris is beating the goblins. But we'll see. I guess I'll be at 18 from fetching here. And I didn't brainstorm. I should have brainstormed. So let's see here. What is the worst that they could draw next turn? Tinderwall makes 2 but costs 1. What? Tinderwall actually has another function. Anyways, doesn't matter. So I don't think we can die next turn. Pretty much regardless of what they draw. So let's just get the Luris. Come on, what's this? Okay, I'm going to replay Bobble because I don't think they can kill us. So there will, you could make a point for replaying the Petal to have Brainstorm open, but let's see what they are going to draw. So they draw Petal. So that means they're only 1 mana away from casting Charbelcher, but then they still need to also use it. So they crash in, and we drop to 12. The next turn they crash in, and we take 6, dropping to 6. Then they crash in, and we take 5, dropping to 1. So maybe we are losing in the long run. Or maybe my math is off. So let's see if we can... So 1, 2, 3, 5. Let's see if we can ponder into Doomsday. We cannot. No Doomsday, no Force of Will. And now we are actually so if they draw what? If they draw Seething Song, is that their biggest mana? The Seething Song is plus 2 mana, right? Is anything else plus 3 mana in their deck? A Rite of Flame would also be plus 2. So I don't, regardless of what they draw, I don't think they can get to Belcher and activate, but they can get to cast Belcher, and then we only have 1 more turn. Let's bottom. So let's recast the Bauble. And say go. And I didn't even see what they revealed. They revealed Spirit Guide. So now they can cast the Belcher. So where does this take us to? 7. So next turn I will take 7 but gain 3, so I'll be at 3. Alright, so now Rite of Flame kills us. Basically any 1 mana thing kills us. So we really need to we really need to, get going now. Nope. I think we're at a point where we have to fetch here and dig with Preordain, because We need Force of Will or Doomsday here, or we're sort of out. So there's Force of Will, so that's good. So let's see, we're at 6. So they attack us for 8. We block 1, we take 7, go to -1. And then we gain 3, go to 2, we force, we go to 1. Then we have to sort of find Doomsday and attack with Lurrus to take us up to Doomsdayable mana. So it's looking a little bit iffy here. But you know what we can do? We can at least see what's going on, what they're going to draw. So they are drawing, what was that? That was Chromox. So Chromox means we don't have to Force of Will. Ironically, we can't predict them here because then we could actually give them a mana and not draw a blue card to pitch for force. These are the games that are a little bit frustrating, right? Because you get to the point now we're like 21 cards deep and we haven't seen our a copy of Doomsday yet. So come on, ponder. So I guess we ponder. Nope, can't take any of these cards, right? So are we actually dead next turn? I think we are, right? We take 6, go to -4, gain 3, go to -1. So yeah, we are dead. So I think we just lose here. We have one last shot, which is we bobble now, and then we predict them, and hope that predict draws us both a Doomsday and a way to draw into the pile. So I guess let's predict them. Gamble. So, brainstorm. So I haven't played a land. So we can play both the pedal and the land here. So we still have a shot. We need brainstorm to hit Doomsday and any cantrip. Rebuy with brainstorm off the fetch land, but then we need to hit exactly Doomsday and Edge of Autumn, actually. Let's put back these lands. And fetch. We drop to 1, but we can attack with the Lurrus to get Doomsday. To get to Doomsday life total. Okay, this is really it. I guess. So Doomsday has to be in the top 3, and then either Edge of Autumn or a pedal and a blue cantrip. Can we do it? No. The hot streak comes to an abrupt end. Too bad. Okay. So that felt fairly underwhelming, but it does happen. No, it's May. You know what? All of these 5 matches were May as well. Sorry, this is just my OCD. I guess it's not, technically speaking, incredibly relevant, but okay, so let's jump to the queue again. So this was a match where we cantrip just a bunch of times and got halfway through a deck and didn't see Doomsday, and it will just happen sometimes. That is sort of the cost of playing a combo deck with that is forced to resolve like one single card. So that is something that like Omnitel also sometimes runs into, but that Sneak and Show doesn't, right? And that like most Storm decks do not, because they can cobble together their route to victory to cast the lethal tendrils or grape shot in many different ways. Sneak and Show can they can resolve either Show and Tell or Sneak Attack. So yeah, that's just something you have to be able to accept, I guess. Really thought that Luris would like buying me all those extra turns after they're empty. Um, yeah, not. I think in most cases we would probably be able to win from there, but yeah, enough about that. We didn't, so there it is. Let me just see here. Legacy League. A lot of Luris. This is a bit weird. This happened yesterday too, where I was queued for like a really long time. So I'm not sure if they've changed something, because usually I don't like with the roughly the same amount of players, active players in the league. I felt like I rarely was queued for more than 2 minutes. Uh, we'll see. And I apologize. I've just sort of gotten to a point where I've decided that I'm just not going to bother with editing stuff like this out. So what you can do with YouTube is you can, if you're watching it on a smartphone, you can tap. You probably know this, but if someone out there does know, you can tap the screen in either direction, and it will like fast forward. I think 10 seconds. So you can just like tap 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 to get through this sort of stuff. So unless this actually ends up taking like 5 minutes, okay, never mind. There we go. Come on. Yep. Let's see. Let's choose to be on the play. Yeah, we can't keep this. And they also reveal Luris. Okay. Yeah, this is good. Let's keep and probably bottom a land. Yeah. Let's go like this. And let us, yeah, I guess let's see what they draw. I was thinking about scrying ourselves, but I think I want to fetch and play cantrip regardless. Source to Plowshares. Okay, so it might be Miracles, or it might be that like Jeskai Delver deck. By the way, I heard a podcast where they named the new Luris Miracles. First, someone said Luricles, which I thought was pretty funny, but then they also said Meowicles, which I think has to take it. That has to actually take, I think, the spot as the most fun like deck name I've ever heard. Meowicles in Legacy. Actually, I think I'm going to, you know, regret the banning of Luris simply because that deck name won't exist. But okay, so they play Plains. It could still be Miracles or Meowicles, but it could also be that white weenie deck, actually, which I actually now think is probably more likely. So we might be facing a Thalia next turn. I know they play like a lot of mana bursting spells, but uh, we could be facing Thalia. We could also, which would be worse, be facing like Leonin Arbiter. So I almost feel like I'm going to fetch out Bayou here. It exposes us horribly to Wasteland, but I want to cast this Baleful Strix. And if they Wasteland us next turn, then they're not playing Arbiter or a Hate Bear, most likely, unless they also hit like a mana rock that they didn't have already. So hopefully this isn't going to be an indication of the speed at which our opponent will be playing at. And let's go for the Strix. So they reveal Source of Plowshares. They can be welcome to Swords my dude here. Guess they choose not to. Yep, okay, I think it probably is the thing there. Yeah. So I wonder, what do you name here? Do you name Bauble? Do you not run your own baubles, probably? Yeah, Mishra's Bauble, fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and power towards Doomsday, basically. And there is our power towards Doomsday. So what's the worst they could do? Next turn they could play Thalia and Wasteland us. And if they do that, then we can still predict, but then we can't do more than predict. So, but I think if they had Thalia, they would have played her over Revoker. I think that's just, unless, and remember, this was a Revoker that had no active target. I think in that case, it's always just better to play Thalia. So it makes me think they don't have Thalia. Let's let's play like they don't have Thalia. So let's take Predict and predict Thassa and draw Unearth plus Edge, because remember they have the Plow, and I guess Petal. And we have a land in hand, so we should be able to get to make this work, but we'll see. So I guess Petal on the bottom, kind of like the pile we did against Belcher. Then Edge, Unearth, Thassa, Predict. And we'll pass. Three mana. So, what is this? Luris. Okay, if that's it, then, and I guess it is, because what else are they playing? Okay, Mox Amber. Sure. They don't have a legend. Oh yeah, no, never mind. They do have a legend. Plow that. Fine. So, I think that means we just get to win. Let's go like this. And get the Thassa. Okay. So this white weenie deck is a bit more scary than traditional Death and Taxes for the Dark Ritual combo deck, because they can very easily from the lists I've seen, they can very easily get a disruptive hate bear down on turn 1, and that is quite scary. So I'm not as confident, far from it actually, as I would normally be against regular death and taxes. But yeah, we'll have to see how we go. So what don't we want? I actually don't really think Baleful Strix is very good. Again, we easily get to the blue card problem here, and I think we do want Force of Will. Maybe cut 1 or 2 baubles, and a Duress, and a Cabal Therapy. Is there anything else that would be an obvious cut? They will likely bring in some sort of graveyard disruption, but I still think Unearth is probably fine. How many blue cards? 4, 6, 10, 14, 18, just like before. Kind of don't like going down to 2 baubles, but that's probably fine. Choose Luris. Yeah, I'm going to keep this hand. It seems pretty good, but this here kind of makes me worried a bit, but let's keep it. They mulligan to 6. Okay, and they keep 6. Caracas is not a plains. Giver of Runes, that's fine. So wait, this can give another creature protection. See, it's kind of tempting to go to go Delta into Swamp, dead weight on this one, but that leaves us at the mercy of just naturally drawing, albeit with a bauble trigger, a blue mana source. I don't know. Let's see. Honestly, what is there to think about? I'm sorry. I shouldn't be complaining. I know that's annoying to listen to. So opponent considering some game action here, or maybe just went to the bathroom. So it gives us some time to mull this over. I think what I'm going to do is Polluted Delta fetch. Oh, I was going to say Basic Island, but being that it's a Delta, it means we only have 3 more fetch lands that can fetch Basic Swamp, which you kind of want when you have Basic Island. They also play Ghost Quarter alongside Wasteland, so getting basics is no guarantee for anything, and we want to cast both blue and black spells, and they mulligan to 6, so maybe there's a world where we're supposed to not play around Wasteland here and just go for an Underground Sea and hope that our cantrip gets us there. And being that this is Giver of Runes and not the Mother of Runes, we can just, we can wait a turn before we dead weight her. It's annoying that they have Caracas because it makes Luris kind of bad. Okay. Come on, opponent. Chop chop. So what can we talk about while we were sitting here waiting for our opponent? I really wonder what will happen once Luris is banned, because I guess the question is, will the format revert to what it was, or will the other will this give suddenly make way for another Ikoria card driven new deck or new sort of strategy? Will the other two companions seeing play right now, that being Zerta and Garuda, actually matter? Of the two, honestly, it seems like Zerta is the most legacy viable, of those two cards. Garuda seems fine as sort of a glass cannony combo deck. And obviously, if they find some way to actually make it insane, then we'll have to have words again about that. But as it is, it just seems too easily disruptible. I know you can, they play Cavern of Souls, which is yeah, which kind of makes it so that everyone sitting on their force of will, feeling good about themselves, can feel bad. But the fact that you can plow it in response to its trigger, and then they have to hit one of their 3 remaining copies in the top 4 cards, so the odds aren't with them there. Just doesn't seem very appealing. About as appealing as our opponent having gone AFK. I can't remember if it's like 10 minutes. They've changed it a bunch of times. At one point, it was like down to 5 minutes or even less, maybe 4 minutes. You could be inactive before you auto conceded the match. Back before then, it was like 10 minutes. So I'm not sure if it's back to being 10, but it's definitely more than 5. It's probably like 8. Okay, they finally got back, and they are drawing a plains, so that's good. Hopefully they will be all eager to deploy a 2-mana threat, and we can massacre it. Oh, beautiful. That is what I want to see. So let's, I guess, so they could have Ghost Quarter, and if they Ghost Quarter our land here, we probably want to use the Ghost Quarter shuffle. So let's draw the Doomsday. No, sorry, not the Doomsday. I mean, let's draw the Dark Ritual, and then put. Hang on. What am I saying? I'm drawing both of these. I just get to do it all because I had the bauble. So, the bauble boy. So if they play that plains, then Thalia means we get to Doomsday but have to pass the turn. But anything else, I think, means we just get to win because we have Massacre. Okay. Yes, you may play this guy. Okay, this guy doesn't die to Massacre. We don't really care about him though, because he's not doing anything. The only thing that this means is that if they have some sort of interaction in their hand, like actual factual, like surgical extraction or mind break trap, then this kind of matters because we can't go off with what do you call it? We can't go off with Unearth, but we wouldn't be doing that anyways because we don't have the mana. So, and we're not forcing because it means we can't go off, so that's fine. Pedal, sure. Deafening silence. So I think I need to force that. So that changes things a bit here. So what we're gonna do is, so let's say we play the Massacre and they give Dranith Magistrate pro black, then we can't deadweight it. But if they don't, we can deadweight it. And do we care about? We don't really care about this. This obviously means we can't play Luris, which is good. But Maybe we're just supposed to hang on to Massacre, actually, because we'll be passing the turn. So let's cast Doomsday. And I think we will have to... We can't play around everything, right? They have one card in hand. So let's say we draw a Brainstorm. And then we cast Brainstorm, drawing Edge, LED, and Thassa. We will put back Deadweight and Thassa. Sorry, Edge, LED, and Thassa, right. And then we need one more card. So let's make that, I guess, another land. So we draw Brainstorm, we cast Brainstorm, Edge, LED, Thassa, one card left, put back Deadweight and Thassa. That doesn't play around swords, but plays around everything else. And we would lose it. Revoker would be bad, but we can Massacre the Revoker. So let's do this. And this plays around a Wasteland / Ghost Quarter. So let's do this. And this, and this. I guess Thassa plus Massacre. Sorry, Thassa plus Wasteland would be bad. Okay, so we don't have to worry about Plow. There's the Ghost Quarter. Okay, so we don't have to worry about anything. That's fine. Bye-bye. I guess we didn't really need to do that, but why not do it? Sure. They give Dryaneth Magistrate Pro Black. Let's put back Deadweight and Thassa. All right, cool. So I've actually started dubbing this White Weenie. There was a Luris. All right. So I guess when they don't draw like their turn 1 disruption, and by that I mean like turn 1 Thalia, turn 1 Arbiter. Turn 1 Arbiter on the play is just super strong because it almost, like, I've had that happen to me where I was sitting on like fetch as my only lands, and it basically just ended the game there. It is brutal, and there's really almost no recovering from it because by the time, like especially for me, I'm playing a 16 land deck. By the time you draw out of it, meaning drawing actual lands that make mana instead of fetch lands, it will be so like way too late. They will have gotten like 3, 4, 5 turns to have like made their creature drops that further disrupt you and just like beat you down. So that's really nice. But I guess like here they just never really got anything super exciting on the early turns that would disrupt combo. So, and I like for instance game 1 here. That's what's really fun about the Loris. In Doomsday is, they see Luris and they see a Bauble and they're all like, okay, let's kill the Bauble with the Revoker and let's make our own Luris, and you just go like slam dunk Doomsday, which is really, I like that it's two very separate things that you're sort of demanding that your opponent is able to answer. Okay, we won the dice roll. That's great. Great day in the morning. Yeah, this is fine. The therapy is a bit iffy. They don't reveal a companion, so I'm gonna go Delta Go here and not start therapying them blindly. So what's this? Could be Canadian, actually. Yeah, fetch land that fetches blue, and there's quite a bit of Canadian threshold. Makes me think I'm like facing a Stifle deck. Or I could be facing Stifle deck, but I think I am facing Canadian. It could also be like a show and tell deck, I guess. In which case, if I just pass the turn and they go, show and tell, and I die with Thoughtseize and Therapy in my hand, I'll be kind of sad. But let's just pass the turn here. Underground Sea. Okay, so I was wrong. It's not Canadian. Badlands. So what, Reanimator? Or Hogak, maybe? Him. Wow, okay. Therapy in a land. So maybe some kind of Grixis control deck? We could go for Doomsday here. Into 6 cards, and we could force. But I think I would rather... I think I'm going to not fetch around a Wasteland here. So it is Grixis control. So they can deal us 5 damage and snap bolt. Snap bolt is a bit of an issue. Maybe we're supposed to take the Snapcaster. I'm thinking it's between Ponder and Snapcaster. Probably the Snapcaster. That gives us a little bit of leverage, like against the long game. We won't get snapped himmed. But the Bolt and the Kolaghan's command is a little bit worrying for our life total. So I think if nothing else happens, like they can go Strix here, that's fine. I think we'll Doomsday next turn, and that will drop us to 8. Sorry, to 8. And we might have to force, in which case it will drop us to 6. And I think we take it from there. So what will happen on their Ponder? They did not shuffle. Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb here and think I'm not going to be up against Daze. So if they have force, they have force. So hang on, let's see here. They pitch Strix. So I force go to 15, drop to 7. And then I take 1, go to 6. I take Bolt, go to 3. I take 2 from Kolaghan's command if they draw another land. Or I take, like, it means is it lethal with a Snapcaster in hand? We drop to 7, go to 6. Yeah, it's lethal with a Snapcaster and another land. But I still think it's correct to fight the good fight here. And let's draw predict. Let's predict Thassa. Let's draw edge and unearth. And let's edge into a duress. How much? We have 3 lands, yeah. Predict. Yeah. I mean, this is not a very comfortable pass the turn pile because they just like there's so much they could do on their turn that matters. So these 5 cards mean we don't need the pedal if we want to. That is, if we want to just cast on Earth. If we want to dress, we need the pedal, and this they get to choose 2, right? So they can deal us 2 and destroy an artifact, or they can deal us 2 and discard a card, or they could deal us 2 and return a Snapcaster, which they won't do. I don't think so, at least. So I think we're losing the pedal in either case, but I think I'm still going to play it out. Okay, so let's put, I guess, put Duress on the bottom, Chavadim on Earth, Thassa, and Predict. Or do we keep it? I think, all told, I would rather have them spend 3 mana to deal us 2 and take this than kill us. But at the same time, if they have bolts, Snap Bolt, they'll just go for it because we have 1 card. So I'm going to play it out. It means we don't like randomly lose to another him, or lose it to another him if they're not doing anything else. Okay, so they have lands. They could go Bolt, Snap Bolt. So we just have to hope they don't have it. You know what? No, I still think we can play around it, but they can do this at our on our draw step. So we just have to predict in response. And I think we'll still be fine. Okay, so we have to predict now. Do not be like a main deck Pyro guy. So their hand is Bolt and a blank that we don't know. Okay. Thassa's Oracle. And so we edge. Because we can't lose the edge because they have Bolt. We have to get to 0 cards in deck. And now we let it resolve and we discard Duress. And take 2, and we take 1. We can take 3 from the Bolt. Oh no! What? Oh yeah, no, never mind. For a second, I thought that I was drawing a card there. Okay. So this should do it, but that felt very close. Sure. And we win. All right. So what do we want here? I think we most certainly want the 3 Veil of Summer. I didn't see Wasteland, but I think I would kind of assume they have Wasteland. Do we want the Cavern of Soul? Oh, sorry, the Carpet of Flowers. It's a Badlands deck, and it's a him deck that wants black, but it's also very much a blue deck, so maybe. And do we care about Decay? So they have 3 mana plus spells because they didn't have Loris. They could have something nasty like Narset or even Leovold. So having it like this is not completely unreasonable. Having extra Decay, I mean, but so we can lose a Petal. I think we can even stand to lose a Dark Ritual. This is not a deck where I want to be like all guns blazing turn 1 Doomsday. Maybe even a second Dark Ritual. Maybe we're supposed to shave a single Bauble, because I think it is about shaving. I think I like Strix just fine. It can sort of stave off there. They probably have something like a Gourmet Angler or some other big like thing to to close out games. Do we want all 4 Force of Wills? Mm. Uh, Gosh, I am not sure. I think maybe the Carpet of Flowers is a bit too cutesy. And let's cut a preordain. All right, and let us reveal Luris. I was just saying that we didn't want to do that thing, but I don't think I'm getting away from this hand. They keep 7 as well. Sure. So if they have Doomsday, sorry, Thoughtseize into Surgical on Doomsday, that's obviously really bad for us. But with Luris, I guess it's not game over. So I think I ponder off Snow-Covered Island, even if that gives away that that's what we drew. And yeah, let's draw the 2 ponders, and we'll have a fetch land next turn to not draw another land. This deck definitely doesn't feel good to play against. They just, yeah, okay. Yeah. Dark Ritual and Forest. So maybe we do want the next land down. Let's have a look. Actually, maybe not. Well, I think we do, but I also think we want to Thoughtseize them now while their guards are down. So do we get basic Swamp? I guess we do. Still not convinced they have Wasteland. Okay. So Colligan's command is annoying. So are their cantrips though, but I think seeing as they have 2 cantrips, I don't think it's patently obvious which one we take here, but yeah. So I guess they ponder here off the Vulcan, hope to hit another hymn. And they shuffle. Okay, Brainstorm. That's surprising, seeing as they already played their land. They just really want to discard us, I guess, with like get to a Thoughtseize. Okay, Surgical on Doomsday. Yeah, I guess we fight over that. It doesn't leave us in a very good spot, but that still feels, correct enough. Yeah, the second Surgical maybe? No, felt like they were considering something. So, is there a world where it's correct to just play out Luris now? And they just untap and bolt him, I guess? It feels like we shouldn't be doing that, right? Because we have, like, if I had a bauble, I would really be tempted to do it. Because at least then, you're getting, you're getting some value out of it. So they shuffle. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to Brainstorm here, even though it's not at its best with only 1 card in hand. Okay, Pyroblast or Red Blast, sure. So they're representing Hardcast Force. Okay, it feels bad to have Veil and not have the green mana to protect against like him. Speak of the devil. I think let's just let that happen. We could have edged, but that would have cost us a land. I'm not really sure what the point would be. Let's see what it is they're sitting on. It was the hardcast force. Okay. Okay, that's decent. If I draw like a blue pitch card here, I feel like I'm gonna play Luris. I didn't. So I'm still not gonna play Luris, just because I have nothing to replay. So they seem to be flooding out a bit, but they might have like Snapcaster here. But if they had Snapcaster, do they snap this or do they? Yeah, maybe they snap like Colligan's command. That seems kind of decent. Okay, no, they're just thinning. Ashiok. Yikes. Okay. So Ashiok means that Doomsday is off the table. And we draw a fetch land. That's lovely. We can't shuffle. So let's go for the Ashiok. And like I really am tempted to play out that that Loris, right, to get the beats on the Ashiok going, but it's just not really, I think, advisable unprotected. They could be sitting on Bolt. Well, they're not sitting on stuff to cast. Okay, so there is a Brainstorm. So I am going to play out Luris now. I'm going to threaten Veil. Oh, I almost clicked through my second main phase. Drown in the lock. Okay, so if they have Red Blast here or Snapcaster Red Blast, it's really bad. But I think we're probably kind of locked into Drown. So I think I'm going to Brainstorm here. And my reasoning is if they have the Red Blast, I think they're going to Red Blast the Brainstorm, and then we only lose one card. We do risk not hitting a set, like a pitchable blue card. Well, we hit blue, and they have F6, so... But it means the next two turns we're just drawing crap. And if they draw Bolt here, I'll be sad. Or I guess Colligan or Snapcaster. They have a lot of draws, and they've drawn crap so far. Oh, sweet. They mill us, so we don't draw the two lands. That's good. So let's just have them. No, I guess we have him attack the Planeswalker. It kind of blows us out if they have Snap, but they didn't have Snap before. Right. I don't think I can really do much with this predict here. Seems like they found something. So what was exiled, by the way? LED was exiled. That's good to know. And a pedal. Okay. Come on, shuffle. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. I think if they Colligan Luris, I'm gonna predict and hope they don't shuffle, and hope to hit like hit a Veil, which is unlikely, but it's something, right? Okay, so Snapcaster Koligan. Yeah, no. I guess we could, no, I didn't side in any graveyard hated, right? No. So let's, so what has gone from our, I don't think we have any fours left in the deck. Maybe Misty Rainforest? I guess we could name something on their side that we're worried they might draw. What? Ponder, Brainstorm, Ponder, Force, Brainstorm, Ponder. I guess we name Lightning Bolt. How about that? Lightning Bolt. Oh, are you kidding me? What a rip! What a rip! That's so sick. Come on. How do you like that? That's amazing. I don't. I'm just speechless right now. Okay. And the we have the Force of Will hardcast now. Yeah. Wow, that was just insanely fortunate. What did we mill? We milled a Ponder. I'm sorry for my exuberant reaction. Or not exuberant, what's the word? Eccentric, I guess. That's a very good draw as well. Insurance policy for future Kolaghan's commands and counter spells and him to Torax, I guess. Would obviously be really nice to draw like a Mishra's Bauble. Could also really benefit from drawing like I guess Cabal Therapy, unless that was milled or exiled. No. Cabal Therapy, right? We can flash it back with Strix and replay Strix with Lyris. Okay, kind of whiffing a bit on our draws now, but we can't complain after what happened a couple of turns ago. All right. Wow, they're really flooding out. They are probably not a wasteland deck, by the way, by the looks of it. So there's Doomsday. That's the thing, I guess. I think I will keep Doomsday sort of in hand for now and have it as like a backup win, because while this is taking it's like a long time, I think we're sitting with pretty good cards in hand, and are just there's no reason to push it. Okay, Pyroblast. Yeah, that's fine. We can replay it next turn. Drown in the lock. So you know what? I'm gonna force this because I think they have a way to recur this Pyroblast, and then they'll Pyroblast the force, and I will Veil in response. I just wanna check that I still have the Bayou in the deck. Yeah. Okay. So I'll tap my Trop. If they have Bolt here, it's pretty bad. Surgical on Baleful Strix. You know what, buddy? You got it. So now casting Doomsday becomes a bit more interesting, right? They have one card in hand. Hmm. So I guess I will. I guess I will cast Doomsday. All right. So what do we want here? We probably want Predict. And then we probably want to. How many lands do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7, we get down to 5 after casting Predict. 3, because we need 2 to cast Thassa. So let's say we cast Predict. We draw. I guess Edge of Autumn was exiled. Yeah. So cast Predict. Draw Thassa and Preordain. Preordain, drawing Dress, and then we will put in an Underground Sea, and we will actually, let's just see, do we have enough mana for this? This costs 1, that's 3, that's 4, that's 6, and we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we also have the Veil. So this should be Xaxes. So let's put Underground Sea on the bottom. Then I guess we don't need to. Oh yeah, we forgot. We need to predict something actually. So let's put Thassa and Duress, and we'll predict away the Preordain. I guess we'll even have the 7th mana. We get a bit mucked up by Surgical Extraction here, but they've already used a couple of Surgical Extractions, and we don't lose the Surgical, we just, you know... So I guess if they have Pyroblast or Snapcaster, that's annoying. Again, it's not like a deal breaker. So we can Veil here, and that means that we get to draw Predict now and sort of speed things up a bit, but I don't think we need to. So we'll have them take it, and the only card I'm really worried about is Surgical, because Lurrus means we can replay Thassa. So, and while it would be a bit annoying for them to like counter predict here, but I mean if that happens, we'll just have to wait. Okay, so it was Preordain. So let's see what they have. Delta, sure. Okay. So that was awesome. That was really, really cool. I did not feel comfortable playing against this deck until we got to that Lurrus plus Baleful Strix point in the game. And you have to remember, Lurrus actually didn't rebuy one card. So This is and Lurs didn't attack once. Lurs meant that we sort of were not dying to Snapcaster beatdowns, and Lurs also meant that they had to make some probably suboptimal plays like surgical extracting the Baleful Strix. That is not that is an actual suboptimal play, I think. Not counting Lurrus. Okay, so cool. Let's see if we can finish strong, or at least not finish strong. Let's see if we can get to 3 wins. I think that's step number 1, right? All right. We lose the dice roll. The die roll. Sorry, that's a bit. My English is pretty decent, but for some reason, like the singular and plural of die/dice is kind of mucks it up for me. Okay, this is very keepable hand. And they did not reveal a companion. Interesting. I've played against one companion so far out of 4 decks. So that's definitely fewer than I had anticipated. And depending on what we're up against here, I feel like a good place to be would be to like play Misty Rainforest and on art when we get the turn, and then not bobble them until we're able to predict as well. Okay, lands. So against lands, I think forcing exploration is a pretty good bet, actually, and we'll be making up the card disadvantage. Yeah, no, let's just pass. I don't think there's a reason to play out the bauble here. I don't think they play main deck spheres, and I don't expect to see a chalice for 0. Or it would have come down last turn. Port. Okay. Wow, that's annoying. What can you do? What's this? Oh, it's one of those tri-lands. Okay. So I guess I don't mind fetching before drawing, just to thin out a bit. So my plan here is to fetch basic island, take my draw step, play basic swamp, I think, and then bobble, them, and then predict. Mox Diamond. Mox Diamond doesn't seem like a very clutch draw for them. So I'm actually a bit annoyed of milling it, but still, I think I'm going to do it just to get the value. Would have preferred to see something like one of their combo lands, I guess. Okay, so we're kind of drawing a bit whiffy here. Also, Grove means they will have, what do you call it? The punching fires, so Lurrus seems a little bit like he won't probably live very long. Is this Loam? Mox Diamond, okay. They've been Tabernacle, sure. Uru, okay. So I'm gonna say, I hope I don't offend anyone, but lands players have such a hard on for getting Uru into play that I feel they were making suboptimal plays right now against combo, at least, because that's all I'm playing against them. But I have been like not been ported on several turns just because they really want to get their Uru engine up and running, where porting me would have made a big difference. So do we go for the value train here of Lurrus? They have one card in hand, and if that card is Punishing Fire, that's unfortunate, of course. Right now, they don't have a way to get. They need 2 more cards in the graveyard to recur Uru. So I think I'm going to play Lurrus, get my Bauble, and if they kill him, they kill him. But then they spend their turn doing that. I guess we can see what they draw. Bajuga Bog. Okay, they'll bog us, and we'll lose the Bauble, which is unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. We just need a Doomsday now. So if we ponder into Doomsday, we can win. Sure. Bogs away. Sure. So they play the Tabernacle, and we have to decide if we want to pay to keep him. Which I guess we will. They will. I mean, he's not really doing a lot, though, is he? And then I think actually we're not going to keep him around. Because they're going to port us as well. And that would leave us with 1 mana. And we can't this way we get to both ponder and preordain. Looking for that Doomsday. I guess not. Well, yeah, well, you know, we do, but no, we do, because then we can edge into like Brainstorm or whatever. It's fine. Let's have a look with Ponder first. Those cards aren't named Doomsday. What the heck, man? So I guess I'm going to fetch an Underground Sea here, because if I fetch Basic Island, then a second port will take us off black mana. So where does this leave us? I'm feeling like maybe we want both of these, but maybe we only want the Brainstorm. Because we have all the Dark Rituals. I think we want the Brainstorm, though. So, yeah, that was not so good. I think we needed to... If we'd found Doomsday there, I'd be feeling pretty comfortable. Giving them the turn now doesn't feel very good. And now they get to Loam, so they get to get their Lurrus, their Uro into play. But again, that will like cost them. I'm not even sure they have the mana for that. Actually, do they? Can they make double blue? I guess they'll have to play some lands now, and now they're down to missing 1 card in their graveyard to get Uru. So yeah. And so they don't port us. Why is that? That's interesting. Why don't you port us? Let's bottom both of these. I guess we Brainstorm. Yikes. Okay, so let's dump a Dark Ritual and dump Abrupt Decay. And I guess I don't hate. I guess I don't hate playing out of Baleful Strix here. There's a Doomsday. Okay, excellent. So I think we can afford to just wait here. Let's play out a bauble. We could Doomsday here and then bauble into force on their upkeep and have double force for their turn, but they aren't going to do anything other than I think play Uru. The very worst they can do is like get to 2 wastelands off their loam and then double wasteland us and Portus. And if they do that, we are down. Like we they can't take us off blue mana that way. They could take us off black mana, which I guess would be a problem. But you know what? If that happens, we will see the 2 wastelands and we can just force of will their loam. Let's bobble them. Feel that, sure. All right. So there was a 2 Field of the Dead and a port. That's fine. So do you play your Uru? Do they know what we're doing here? I don't think they've seen. They must think we're on some sort of bug control deck, I guess. Okay, so that's fine. Sure. Get your zombies. And I guess get some double port action going. No, let's not pay for him. Sure. Yep. All right. So they have 1 card in hand, which is what? That is the land, right? It must be a land. They targeted. They targeted Field of the Dead, Port, Field of the Dead, and now they have both. And then they played Field of the Dead. Then they played Port, and then they. Oh yeah, so their card in hand is Field of the Dead. So yeah, we don't need to play around removal. So we will edge into predict away Thassa. Yeah, there's no way they can do something with Bog. They can't like copy it. There's no stage. I guess that doesn't matter. Stage doesn't enter the battlefield. So we'll predict away Thassa. We'll draw edge. Sorry, we'll draw Unearth and Petal, and we'll win with 1 card in our library, which I guess can be another land. Okay. I really love having Unearth because, as you can see, you don't have to like you can combo with force in hand and not have to like then dump your force throughout the combo when you have to crack LED. It obviously plays into Graveyard Hate, which there just isn't really a lot of at the moment, especially on main decks or in starting. No, main decks. Sorry, that's the correct terminology. Okay, so let's put Underground Sea on the bottom, then Petal, Unearth, Predict. Sorry, Thassa, and then Predict. And we'll cycle the Swamp. And we'll Predict here. Thassa's Oracle. this. Cool. Okay. So sideboard wise, maybe we want the Nihil Spellbomb. I think we want the basic forest, and we probably want Seal of Primordium. Um, Maybe we want Second Decay. We probably don't want Baleful Strix. Means we don't want Therapy. Possibly we don't want Duress or Thoughtseize. I mean, I'm not sure about the Spellbomb. It might be too cute. Yeah, let's try it like this. So there was one turn where they didn't port us for some reason. I'm wondering if they just forgot. Yeah, I can't get away from this. No getting away from it. It's a bit scary to, like, we don't know what they will have brought in against us. So yeah, no, we have to. I think we have to do this, and we'll try and see if we can build like a pass the turn pile that is really sort of robust. So let's say we draw predict, and we predict. We predict Thassa, and we draw like Unearth. And is that really good enough? Like if they have surgical extraction, that's kind of bad, right? So let's just think this through. What can happen next turn? They can go Sphere of Resistance, then we can't cast Predict next turn. They can also go Ghost Quarter, then we can't cast Predict next turn. And then Predict just becomes really bad. They can have Surgical Extraction that can mess us up on Predict. And it can also mess us up on Thassa in the yard. So maybe we just don't want to do that at all. So maybe we just want to go like chilling for a few turns. We can make land drops every turn. And while they were all wastable lands, I'm sure that's fine. So we have a brainstorm in hand. Let's think about that. So we can draw with brainstorm, drawing into predict and a petal, and Thassa. So we put back Bayou and Thassa, play out a land, play out a petal, cast predict, naming Thassa, drawing Bayou, drawing Unearth. It sort of gets us to the same place. We could also not bin Thassa, we could bin Bayou, and then we could draw like some like Force of Will and Unearth. Oh no, that's no good. This is complicated. We also have Luris, remember, and we have LED. So there's a world where if they like deal with Thassa in a non-surgical extraction way, if they have like Decay for Thassa, we can rebuy Thassa with Luris if there are more than one like 0 cards in our deck, I guess. Okay, so let's just see here. We don't necessarily want Unearth. We want Thassa for sure. We might want like Force of Will. So let's say we play a land and pass. Maybe we want like Mishra's Bauble. Is that too cute? We can then draw into Force of Will and pass the turn again. So let's say we draw Mishra's Bauble. We play it. we bobble them, we draw into force. Then our deck is pedal predict Thassa, which it surely needs not to be. So we don't want the. This is also, there's a world where they get like where they play Null Rod, which would actually be quite devastating for this little plan here. Decisions. Sorry, opponent, for wasting your time here. Maybe the bobble thing is too cute. Or maybe not. Sorry. So let's just say we do that, we pass turn now. We get the turn, we draw bobble. We pass turn again. We draw force. I don't think we want that. No, we don't want that. So let's go for a predict. That predicts that, and we can brainstorm, predict a land, and then actually let's draw Unearth and Force of Will. So this is one of those rare times where I actually feel like doing something like this. Yeah, this is a bit of a gamble. I actually am saying okay here without having a pile, so that's it's a bit silly. But let's yeah. Let's put it like this, where we next turn we draw into we can draw into the predict, and then we can brainstorm into some other cards and do some stuff. And let's play out the LED, just because we might need to play under a Sphere of Resistance, and we might need the LED, so who knows, right? Okay. So what do you do here, opponent? Sphere, I guess? Null Rod. Okay. That was one of the cards we were kind of worried about. And it means that we probably can't afford to play out one of our duels, or we lose on the spot. I guess we don't lose on the spot, actually. Because we can predict. See, now the problem is, what did I put third from the, or second from the top? Because now we could, like, if I'd actually thought this through, I could now predict Thassa into the yard and draw Force of Will and Unearth, and then I could pass the turn and force a Surgical Extraction. As it is, I think I have to risk this. Is there any way? Because now, like, if I play the Trop and they wasted, and then I brainstorm, there are then 3 cards in the library. Then it's our turn, and we draw, and there are 2 cards, and predict is off. Unless, of course, no, it's not necessarily off. I can name the wrong card. So yeah, I think I actually like that. It's a little bit iffy, this. But again, I guess then we don't have mana. If they wasteland us, we can't both cast predict and unearth on our turn. So yeah, it's not looking too good. Well, I gotta say, they didn't have wasteland. That was very lucky. Okay, so I guess the correct thing here is to brainstorm, because I made such a hash of it, I didn't remember the pile. So let's put back Maybe Bayou and Thassa. Or actually, I guess Thassa and Bayou. No, Bayou and Thassa, right? So we'll misname and get Thassa into the yard. That doesn't play around surgical though, right? But I guess we're sort of past that. Yeah, we can't really play around surgical. Not anymore. So let's do this. Is there any reason to do it in our upkeep? I don't think so, right? It's more or less the same. Yeah, so actually let's put back Thassa and then let's put back Bayou. Let's draw Bayou and then we can predict. And we just have to name the wrong card. Oops. So let's name Abandon Hope. And we beat everything but surgical, right? That's it. I guess we even beat Mindbreak Trap. But surgical and it's gangbusters. All right, cool. So that was lands. All right, would be cool to finish strong. And if I do, I will be happy. It's 4-1. I will be I'm still kind of bummed that I lost that match to Belcher in the first round, but yeah, it is what it is, right? That will happen. I think this version of lands playing Uru is just it has maybe it's pushed the deck. No, actually, I shouldn't be really speculating too much on that because I haven't actually seen the deck list, so I don't know. But as a combo player, it feels like it might not be that the cards because I'm not sure what Uru has replaced. It might have replaced like I don't know, Gamble or some number of punishing fires or something. So it might not have replaced super anti combo relevant cards because lands typically don't have that in game one. But it just feels like it makes them play in a way where like maybe it's replaced some number of like Merit Lage cards. Sorry, because I didn't feel like I saw any of like any Dark Depths at any point during that long game one, and it's just that like that's obviously just much better against combo. It's much better to have an oops I win on turn 2 or turn 3 combo kill in lands than it is to have this grindy turns 3 to 6, you know, semi bomb card. And again, like against combo, it doesn't really matter that much what they draw with their Uro. It obviously matters that it's a 6/6. And against my type of combo deck, it doesn't matter that they gain life. And against most combo decks, it probably won't matter, you know? So, anyways, it's just some thoughts I've had. It's only been a couple of matches I've played against this version of lands, but it definitely feels like Uru is a distraction for them. All right. Uru is probably amazing in like against the Delver strategies, but I kind of feel like weren't lands always good against Delver? Maybe not. I don't know. I have not really played lands, which is to say I've never played lands. Okay, so we've lost the die roll, and let's see. I really hope it's not goblins that I'm up against. I think I have to mulligan this hand. Um, Double Doomsday is already kind of a mold of six. You know, that's a bit of a stretch, but you know what I mean. And having Thassa is, and these two baubles could be anything. So I think I have to get rid of this. This is much better. Let's dump a brainstorm and see where it takes us. No companion again. And Volcanic Island. So I guess Canadian Threshold or like Sneak and Show. And if it's Canadian Threshold and I get blown out by a Stifle here, it'll be very, like, it'll feel very bad. But if I pass the turn, they go Ancient Tomb Show until that'll also feel very bad. But I feel it's more likely that it's the sort of Rug Delver type thing. So let's see. And I'm not gonna fetch yet. Okay, do I fetch now? I think I fetch now. And get a basic island. You gotta respect Stifle all of a sudden, right? That's annoying. But I have a certain fondness for Stifle. Um, right when I started Legacy, it was right at like Return to, oh, not Return to Ravnica. Right before Return to Ravnica, right with Avs and Restored coming out, and Canadian Threshold was just like King of the Hill together with Maverick. And I just think there's something cool about the deck. It is very sort of, it's quite elegant in a way, but it's also very punishing. Okay, so maybe we scry ourselves here? No, I don't think we do. Maybe we get a bit of a feel to what they're playing. Wooded Foothills. Okay, so I think it is Canadian. Wow, those are some good cards. We basically have to just not have this wasteland. Oh, sorry, stifled. Um, let's put back Preordain and, or actually, yeah, Preordain and Dark Ritual, and then we'll draw the Dark Ritual off the Bauble trigger. And they have to fetch if they don't want to draw their fetch land. So I think we get to fetch then. And then I guess we don't draw the Dark Ritual, but that's fine. So this will be the test to see if they actually have Stifle, because if they do, I think they will value, yeah, scoundrels. So they drew their Wooded Foothills. So Goyf. So can we really afford to have this stifled? We'll be drawing a Preordain. I guess it's not the well, it is pretty bad, but I'm just not sure what to prefer here. And when do we sack this? I think we sack this now. Let's see what they're drawing. Delver, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna fetch, and they're gonna stifle. I guess I'm gonna. Yeah, no, I don't mind drawing the. Oh, they didn't even have it. What do you know? Okay, so let's draw Duress and Bauble. So if we cast Dark Ritual, we can both Thoughtseize and Duress, and we can Brainstorm, like we can then Doomsday and then win with Brainstorm because we have Bauble in hand. So it'd be interesting to see if they counter this. And let's not go all in on this. Let's they probably have a bunch of counter spells, or at least a couple. I guess they don't, but they have Lightning Bolt. I guess lightning bolt doesn't matter. Yeah, let's take brainstorm, and let's take the second brainstorm. They will brainstorm in response, I'm guessing. Yep. So now a lot of things can happen, right? They can hit daze or force of will, which would be annoying. I'm mostly worried that they daze us here, honestly. Wow, that's so strong. Wow. Talk about lightning in a bottle. So they basically hit force snare. Jeez. I guess we take the force. So I don't think I can win now. So what do we do here? We can't even Luris. And we know their next two draws are like Bolt Delver, right? Or is it Bolt Bolt? It's got to be Bolt Bolt, right? Oh wow, that was such an incredible beating. Um, if we had one more mana, we could go for Luris and make them use Force of Will there. As it is, I am not sure we can even afford to not brainstorm here. We could Dark Ritual and then cast Luris, and they force, but then we're down a Dark Ritual. But maybe that's actually better. They might not even force. They might just be like, yeah, whatever, we're drawing Lightning Bolt. Have your one card. I think that's actually what they would do. So I'm going to bobble here. Wow, that was kind of soul crushing. Yep. So now we have to beat double bolt, force, spell snare. Yeah. We even like we could have beaten one. Yeah, never mind. I'm just crying a river here. So I guess they just pass here, right? So they have both force and spell snare and bolt. I was gonna say that's not the worst, but they will obviously spell snare that. So I guess let's brainstorm. So bolt takes us down to 9, and I think they're drawing a second bolt, right? So that's 6. We're at 4. Sorry, we're at 2 then from the Tarmogoyf attack. So I think like we have to get rid of this and yeah, probably that Ponder, even though Ponder is, we're running out of options here. So by my calculations, Thought seizes outright because they can double bolt. I'm kicking myself. I didn't. Yeah, no, they had 2 bolts. They had bolt. They had brainstorm, and they had ponder and a land, I guess. No, not a land. That was 5 cards. They had 2 bolts for sure. So let's say we Thoughtseize them here. Then they attack us for 4 down to 6, and then they just have the 2 bolts, right? So what is this? I have to hope for. I have to hope for a like blind shuffle therapy into a cantrip. That could happen. That's not happening. So we're at 8. Yeah, and what? So we play Lurus, they force, and just bolt. Bang, bang, you're dead. I guess we can try. If for some reason I am misremembering things and they didn't have 2 bolts, but I feel like they did. I guess maybe the safe play is to bolt him instead. And then we still die. Because then there'll be a creature in the yard. And that doesn't even matter, but then that will grow the Goyf. Yeah. So, bolt him. Bolt us. We're at 4. They attack for 5. Yep. Womp womp. I guess they don't even have a reason to bolt here in case we drew like Flusterstorm or something, but okay, so they do. Sure. So that felt kind of tough, I have to admit. Let's bring in some decays and maybe a deadweight. Let's bring in the basic forest. Let's bring in the carpet of flowers. Let's consider bringing in Veil of Summer. So, Veil of Summer is less amazing seeing as we're not up against a black deck. But it is not insignificant to be able to power through Force of Will. But that leaves us with like 68 card deck and not a lot that we actually want to trim. So maybe we want to trim like a Thoughtseize because they could have, or actually they will have Veil. And let's cut all the Force of Wills. And let's cut a Predict. Do we want a second Deadweight, by the way? Is it killing anything other than Delver? But might that be good enough? Actually, no. I think 1 is fine. So let's cut a Petal. And I guess a Bauble. Maybe we want to cut 2 Baubles. Yeah, let's cut 2 Baubles and bring back the Petal, because mana might be tight. And I think there are enough things that we can recur with Lurus. Although, cutting Baubles, I'm not sure how that really affects the deck in terms of the mana base. We added a land, though. It's just like cutting Baubles means that we're cutting basically like, you know, it's the old probe thing where you're playing 4 Gataxian Probe or 4 Bishop's Bauble and you're actually playing a 56 card deck. That kind of, you know, way to think about it. It means that you can play fewer lands theoretically. But then when you cut on those cards after sideboarding, you could get hurt. Alright, let's see here. Let's choose to be on play. Let's choose to declare Lurus our companion. Yeah, this seems fine. The Oracle in hand is a bit of a soft touch, but I don't mind. I think I'm going to Thoughtseize here, and if they have kept like a Delver plus Counterspells hand, I'll take the Delver. And just hope they don't draw threats. And it's obviously annoying if they have Wasteland, but we have a second land, and yeah, I'm not going to mulligan this hand. Okay, so let's see here. 2 Delvers, a Bolt, and a Pierce, and a Force. I guess we could take... I think we take Force of Will here, and then we might take like Spell Pierce or Lightning Bolt, depending on where we want to go with this game. In terms of if it's like a Lurrus game, we take the Bolt. Okay, I guess they play a Delver here. Okay, no, they want to keep open Spell Pierce, which I think is probably fine. If we get one of these cantrips pierced, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, I think we want both of these. Oh no, I hate that. I hate that you can't like regret this. I put it on top, but I wanted to draw the bauble to actually bauble now. I guess I will just ponder. That's not the best, but it's not the worst. But that was sort of a bit of a sketchy play on my part, playing that ponder. Okay, so let's pass here. And next turn, I think we will... There's Delver, sure. I think we will have to duress the spell, the lightning bolt. Depending on what I see, I might want to Dark Ritual out the Lurrus. I guess I can't do that through the Pierce. If they Spell Pierce here, we're definitely paying. If they then have Daze, then it's a bit of a problem. Oh, Veil is even worse. If they had Veil, why on earth were they hesitating? That's so annoying. Okay, I guess they don't have Veil. They have Double Bolt. Go figure. So... how does this even work for us? So we can Lightning Bolt here, take a Lightning Bolt, and then we can play Thassa, I guess, and try to lure out their second bolt. But obviously they won't fall for that. Let's get Trop. Play a Bauble. See what they draw. Daze, huh? So they will flip the Delver. Yeah, I don't hate that. Let's bottom the... No! Oh my god. That was so bad. That was a misplay. I was thinking like it was like resolving a ponder. Sorry, preordain. So I was gonna click on the one that I didn't want, but you have to click on the one you want on top. And now we get to draw a beautiful, shiny, you know, snow-covered forest, while our one of actually very useful card has gone to the bottom. Sigh. So, wait, what card am I not seeing here? They had a ponder too, right? I must have clicked it out. Okay, so there's the ponder. Yeah, that I think is significant. That misplay on my part. Delver. No more land. No, not another land. Wow. Okay. So they're gonna race us with the two Delvers. Makes sense, I guess. Wow. So are we forced into just playing the Lurrus into the Bolt just to get a Mishra's Bauble and like because we're at an effective 11 here and that becomes 5 next turn. So we're on like a 2 turn clock and I think we need them to use the Bolt on the Lurrus, I guess. Um, let's go like this and let's play out the pedal. There's a world where we get like a decay and one a decay. It's so feel bad, right? To not like we get to see the top of their deck anyways, but yeah, whatever. Ponder, sure. Yeah, might as well attack. Get that 1 point of damage through. Yay. I mean, if we'd had that dead weight, we could have double dead weighted them. With it would cost us a dark ritual, but instead now here we are. Um, I guess it's not impossible to win with Doomsday, but it would have to be we would have to like right now draw Brainstorm and then get it done. Or there's this little option I hadn't thought about. So we're still like super dead to bolts, but there's a chance they can't. They would have to Force of Will this, I guess. They could have drawn Force of Will. Or I guess Surgical Extraction could also be in their hand. Bunch of stuff. This at least gives us a little bit of hope. Not a lot, but a little. So what are they drawing? That's good. Don't think we're facing any hasty creatures. I've lost track of what was in their hand, which is annoying. But we know for a fact that Spell Piercing Daze is in their hand. Sure. So we're obviously just dead to Lightning Bolt here, if they find Lightning Bolt. I suppose there's some world where we like fail to draw into a Force of Will kind of thing, but so you gotta just swing here with both, right? Unbelievable. Just imagine if I hadn't misclicked on that goddamn Thassa's trigger and I would have a dead weight just going to town on their Delvers. Well, it didn't happen and we concede. I mean, we can lure us up to 3. Actually, no, we don't concede, right? There's a world where like the bauble draws us into an abrupt decay. So let's not do that. I think maybe I'm supposed to play out the forest. just in case Bobble draws me into Brainstorm and I have to fight or like pay through soft counters. Come on, Decay, 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 Decay. No! Yep, alright. Conceded is. Alright, well that felt very, very, very annoying, but at the same time, I do feel like that was mostly down to a very bad misplay on my part, and on them like just having the god brainstorm in game one. So yeah, there's that. Oops, I didn't win. I didn't win. Let's not be that guy. All right. And whoops, what did we get? So I think I've made a lifestyle choice here that whenever I 3-2, I'm going to open the chest. So let's open the chest, huh? Get a little bit of chest opening. Not in the surgical sense. Alright, let's open one of these. 10 play points in a blast zone. Is blast zone worth anything? Probably not. It's a legacy card though. That's kind of cool. Let's just have a look. Blast zone. And there are a lot of versions. I'm not sure which one I got. Wow, it's 12 tickets? That's awesome. Is that all of them? Yeah. Hell yeah. Alright, cool. I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm sure the news will be in tomorrow that Blast Zone has spiked for some reason once Luris is out of the format, but I still think that's a risk I will take. I don't play decks with Blast Zone. Alright, that was kind of fun. Trade zone. Alright, well, on that positive high note, following the disappointment of the last match, I will say thanks a lot for watching, and I'll be back at a later date.